Good morning. How are you? Okay, I'm good. We'll get into that. Let's go ahead and do the intro because I tend to forget to do this. Hello, my name is Erin. This is Ageless Beauty with Erin, and thank you for joining me today. So today's Get Ready With Me, I have one new item, which is kind of funny, and then another item I've only used once, and we're just going to do a look. I haven't done one in a while. The last couple of videos I've done have been kind of like, let's wash brushes, let's do some Flutter Habit lashes, let's do some different things, which is great, but I want to get back to doing makeup too because I absolutely love doing makeup. So, thank you for joining. Those of you that are with me every week, guys, you know I love you. I can't appreciate you enough. And for those new, please don't forget to hit subscribe and like. I hope it's to your liking. And let me know what you think. I'm always wanting to know what people think. Okay, so today's video, I'm going to, as always, I'll link everything down below so you know what it is because I don't talk about it a lot as I go through and use it. So I just want to show you my new item. And I love ColourPop. ColourPop is one of my top brands, and yeah, they're good stuff. I don't need anything. You know, if you've been with me, you guys know I went on a spree of buying some Natasha Denona minis. I don't need anything. I've got more makeup than I can probably help 5 other women with, you know? But I didn't buy this because of the makeup. I bought it because it's my boys. This is their BT21, which is BTS Bon Voyage palette. And these are all my boys and my favorite. But, you know, the color scheme is okay. It's not necessarily something I would not have bought it just for the color scheme. But I had to have it. Yes, I am one of them. So, let's just look at the palette. Oops. Cute colors. I mean, yeah, I can use this. I have so many like it that it just wasn't something I absolutely had to have, but how do you resist those guys? I am a huge BTS fan. I have mentioned them a couple times in my videos, and I just adore them. So when I saw the palette, I've got other things like this is Tata, which of course, as you can, my man Tata, just the lip balm. I've got a couple of other things. I've got lots of shirts, and anyways, I am not ashamed. I'm not. But so I bought it so I can display it, and I will display it. I don't know where yet. For now, we'll just put that there. You can't even see it because I'm all kinds of discombobulated in my screen, but there you have it. So that's my new product we're going to use today. I don't expect to have any problems. Like I said, ColourPop is a good brand that I enjoy. They're a good price brand. They come through pretty much everything I've tried for them. I do have multiple ColourPop items I'm going to be using. I thought, why not? I could have probably done a whole video. I know I could have done a whole video with ColourPop items. I've done it in the past. But I didn't plan to do that today. My other thing that I've only used once is the Haus Labs Triclone Skin Tech Foundation. I've used it once. It was okay. The color's not exactly correct. My daughter bought it, and it was completely wrong for her, and it matched me more than her. So I want to give it another shot. I didn't mind it last time, so I thought, why not? So that being said, we're going to jump right into doing this video. And I haven't prepped. I'm a little out of practice, guys. Like, severely out of practice. It's been a couple weeks since I did any makeup, and I was in Niagara Falls prior to that, which on vacation, other than my lashes, I don't do a ton of makeup, which was a good thing because with the falls, we got wet, it was hot, it was humid, it was cold, and sometimes it was the craziest weather. But it was fun. it was really fun going up to Niagara. We stayed on the Canadian side, and I will do it again. Yeah, we have decided we would go back and do it again. We didn't tour as much. We stayed for a couple days, really explored the falls, and of course the casino. We stayed attached to the casino, and I don't know, it was just a lot of fun. We walked about everywhere, and anyways, it's not what I'm here to talk about, but it was a lot of fun. So I'm going to prep myself, and of course 2 weeks ago I had surgery. It was about damn time, just to borrow Lizzo's phrase there. Much needed. And I will tell you, I feel amazing. I do. So there's that. Now, before I really get into any of that, I do want to mention that this video is... So last week's video was when I put the flutter habits on and showed you all, and we worked them together. Today is technically the next day, but I'm posting this a week later. I post them, over Sunday, or I try to. But I wanted to show you that this is a day later, overnight. I didn't lose any. They all look good. They, I haven't had a problem out of them. So today we're putting on makeup, and I am going to do an eye look. But I just wanted to mention it so you would know that if you saw last week's video, this is technically the next day. So that video was done on a Tuesday, and today is a Wednesday. But I do like them. I think this is going to be the style I take to Jamaica. So, having said that, let's get back to what I was here for. Now, going to do my makeup. I didn't get any brushes out. Again, I'm out of practice. I'll return. Okay, I think I'm back. I think I'm ready. So, let's talk update on the surgery. Like I said, this has been almost 10-month process. Most of you that have been with me have heard me talk about it, heard me complain, heard me cry, and I apologize, but I do and I don't apologize. It was just what I was going through, and I'm sorry that some of you witnessed it. However, the only way... Okay, so let's just start from the beginning. I haven't told the whole story in a while. A lot of you probably know this from bits and pieces from each episode I've done, but let's really start from the beginning here. And the beginning goes a little like, it started September 5th last year. And, yeah, that'll be a good. It was Labor Day. So, my husband was working, of course, because he doesn't have a holiday he doesn't work without months and months in advance prep and vacation used to get holidays off. So my daughter and I were just spending the day together. We were just a lot of times when we do that, it's like a video game day or a movie day or whatever, and we'll just put on a bunch of little finger foods, little chicken wings, some little weenies, some dips. We love making either crab rangoon dip or like a spinach artichoke. I mean, that's just what we do, and then we'll eat it all day. So that's what we were doing. So nothing really crazy. I think we spent the day in the pool before we had to close it. It was just a normal day that we both, had the day off and we were enjoying. During that, I all of a sudden started having trouble. I don't know which colors I'm using, so I'm kind of trying to play it as I go. Started having trouble eating, which was, weird enough for me. I am not a picky eater. I don't struggle eating a lot. I want it, I eat it, pretty much is it. But I like couldn't eat and my stomach started getting really, really sick. So I'm like, okay, I didn't, I thought maybe I'm coming down with something, or just maybe I ate something and it upset me, or, come on. The options were limitless. There could have just been about anything that happened. So I just quit eating. No big deal. We enjoyed our day. Stomach cramped a little bit. I wasn't feeling the best, but we were still able to enjoy the pool and, watch our movies or marathons, or we were probably watching a BTS marathon. And to be quite honest, she's my BTS partner in crime. But, so, no big deal. But that started the downfall for me. And of course I didn't really know the signs at the time. It was, it just kind of happened. It was just, all of a sudden I just didn't feel good. So, no big deal. Well, for the next couple days, I still couldn't eat. Like, my stomach really hurt and cramped. And I kind of really started thinking there was something wrong. Again, I don't get that way. I don't have a upset stomach. I eat anything. I don't have a bad gag reflex. Or I should have said none of this prior to this had I had. Obviously, that all changed. So, long story short, I started getting, oh no, it's a long story long, but to shorten this part of the story, I just worked through it. I needed to go to the doctor. I knew I did. There was something wrong. I lost my appetite for like a week, and I dropped weight really, really quickly. Now, I've never been one to complain about dropping weight, like ever. And those that know me know I struggled with weight. I went on this big keto kick, lost a ton of weight, got my health back together. Everything was going great. Then that's it. So, yeah, I was happy and healthy, and all of a sudden I wasn't. And it was pretty much that quick. All of a sudden I wasn't. So, I needed to go to the doctor. My husband started noticing, because I really hadn't said anything to anybody. Like, they just noticed that I wasn't eating anymore, or I was getting sick when I ate, and just things like that, right? And I knew I needed to go to the doctor, but we were going to Mexico at the end of September. And I was really worried that it was something major. And there was a couple other things that happened. Like, I got a bump on my chest, and just a couple other things that happened at that time that really scared me. And I was like, I'm going to Mexico. Whatever this is, we'll deal with it after Mexico, right? So I kind of just dealt. And my husband came up to me one day, and insulting and not insulting, because I know he was concerned. But he's like, Erin, are you doing some crazy fad diet to lose weight before Mexico? Now, like I said, insulting, but yet not, because the man does know me. And my history of worrying about being overweight, going on diets, going to the beach, blah, blah, blah. I haven't really felt that way in the years since I lost weight, but old habits, I get it. So when he asked, I kind of chuckled, laughed it off, and told him no, honestly, that was not what was going on. And then I proceeded to tell him what was going on. You got to get to the doctor. You got to get to the doctor. Yeah. I told him I know. I said, I'm going to when we come back. I'm not ruining this vacation. And of course, my husband, being the absolute amazing man that he is, was like, we can cancel vacation. We got insurance. We can go anytime. Sorry, dude, that was not an option. It just wasn't. So I listened to him. We carried on. And I told him when I come back, So then he, being very smart that he is, go ahead and make an appointment. Call him. Make an appointment so when we get back, you can get in quickly. That was very smart of him. I, however, did not listen. So we went to Mexico, and I couldn't eat. At this point, when I ate, I was getting extremely sick and had started vomiting. Now, it wasn't every time I ate. Okay, that glitter is a little much. It's everywhere. Everything else is great. The glitter I wasn't sure about. But, so I was very selective of what I ate. My husband was like, oh my God, you're going to Mexico and you can't even enjoy the food. And you know, that's part of the experience. And I'm like, I'm not going to Mexico for the food. I'm okay. I will be okay. And, I was. I mean, yes, it sucked. I couldn't eat. There was 2 nights that I literally got so sick when I did eat that I couldn't enjoy the rest of the night. I had to go and lay down, but it's okay. I knew going into this that could have happened, right? So, and it did. As bad as it sucks, it did. So this was the first time I was telling anybody in our group, which is mostly family and then a group of close friends, what I was going through. They had no idea. They noticed I lost weight, but they didn't know why or that I hadn't tried or, you know, whatever. So I'm talking to them about it, and my niece, or my sister-in-law, was like, you know, this is what her daughter was going through. Very similar. She says, your symptoms sound very similar to what my niece is going through. And I'm like, oh shit. Which I knew a lot about my niece's sickness. But I never put them side by side that it could be the same thing. Because my niece, who just turned 21, at the time was 20, had to have a feeding tube, and to me she was just so much more extreme than what I was. And she starts telling me what to look at, what to look for, and what it could be. And I did. I started looking at that. Long story short, she was right. But I say that a lot, don't I? But we'll get there because it takes months. I'm sorry, I just hit the microphone. For them to get me a diagnosis that is what my sister-in-law said. So I get back from vacation. Wonderful vacation. You all have heard me talk about it. And I've got glitter everywhere. I call my doctor. We get back from Mexico October 1st. She can't get me in till October 31st. So here I am sick. I've already been a month before I try to get in. And it's going to be another practically a month before I can be seen. My husband was not a happy person. I get it. I screwed up. Should have called. Didn't. So before we go on, I did like that. It blended well. The glitter was too much. It's too chunky. It fell out everywhere. The mattes were nice. There's not many mattes. That was the one thing I noticed. Most of it's a shimmer. I think there was 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, there is more mattes than I thought. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mattes. Then the shimmers are here, here, here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then some, I think 3 chunky glitters. Was not happy with the chunky glitters. I was kind of hoping that I can kind of divulge. That's why I went with this one. Kind of add in that little color because I had gone with the brown and the blue. But it did not. And it's not ugly by any means. It just didn't actually change the color of anything. And it actually, like I said, fell out everywhere. However, the rest of it was very nice. Yeah, it blended well. I think it looks good. So even with the glitter on, I think it looks fine. The glitter just made a huge mess. Okay, so I'm going to start my face and we'll just continue talking. So by the time October 31st gets around for my appointment, I am vomiting, I want to say 75 to 80% of everything I put in my mouth. Okay? Hey, looking back at it now, that was good. But it wasn't. I mean, it was painful. If I didn't vomit, I was in so much pain. Like, I wouldn't wish this on anybody. And I had really gotten to talk more and more to my niece about what she does and how she survived. And she sent me a little care package of things that she could eat and what she survived with. And so, I mean, she was, and her mom was a rock. So I'm just going to say this right now. I had a support group that literally amazed me. Of course, my husband and my daughter, my sister-in-law, her daughter, my two best friends, my sister-in-law, my other sister-in-law and brother. And I'm just saying, and I know I might have forgot somebody. If I did, I didn't mean to, but those were like the main core that I talked to like every day, that we really had each other's back and we related, because my niece was going through it. But then my sister-in-law, my other sister-in-law started getting sick, and we, I was able to talk to her, and it was just so much, like so much. But yeah, I'm very fortunate to have, and I still have this circle. They're still very supportive, checking in daily and doing, good people deeds. And I just can't even tell you how amazing it was knowing that I wasn't alone, because only a few of them really understood what I was going through, right? Like, what I was dealing with is not something that many people can understand. To eat and basically your body betray you, and not being able to keep food down. It was such a mental, not only physical, but mental issue. Like, I disappeared from YouTube for a while. You all know. I had been working on, I had 3 different channels going. It was a Get Ready With Me that we're doing now. There was a Get Ready With Me Occult Edition, which means I was doing my makeup. We were getting ready, doing makeup and discussing occult. And damn, I enjoyed that a lot. I was like really, a lot of research involved, a lot of, things to find out what was true, what wasn't. And I had done a couple of them, and then the third one, which I really thought would be easy because it was one that I was very familiar with. I still have to do it. I've got a lot of it done and ready. I just still have to actually physically do the video. But I thought that one would be the easy one, right? Because it was the Manson family. And it is such a well-known one, and it was one that I have always known about. Like, I read Helter Skelter when I was a teenager, and just always interested in it. I mean, it was, I want to say this, and I don't mean it in a way that is weird, but it was one that was around, and I was aware of it. Like, a lot of these are still around. A lot of them I am aware of, but not to this degree. Like, I knew a lot about the Manson, or I thought I did. I found out a lot of stuff I didn't know. Then I had to find out what was true. It was so fun. But, and you knew there was a but coming, because I no longer am doing it right now. It literally and physically took everything out of me. Like, I could not function doing these. And it was messing with my head. It was messing with my mind. I wasn't resting. I was constantly working on that. So I backed off that one. Then I had another one that was an Evil Lives Here series. And what I was doing is I was watching... Okay, for some reason this is peeling. I don't know if it's the... I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Like, the primer I put on is one of my favorite brands. Now, I did put on like a mattifying one, but you would think, still the brand's good. I've used this before. But yeah, I'm not liking this for some reason. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the product I put on under when I did my serums. I don't know. Sorry. It keeps peeling. And I'm not happy. So, anyways, I would watch the Evil Lives Here, and then I would sit down and discuss it. Easy, you know? And I would sometimes do my makeup, sometimes not. Just really depending on what I was doing that day. So, yeah. I had to stop it too because I was surrounding myself with evil and murder and that kind of thing. And lo and behold, I was not in a good mental state. Like, at all. So that is the explanation behind the two series that I have that have been dormant for a bit. My hope, my goal, is to get those going back up. If not by the end of this year, starting next year. We'll see. I'll keep you updated. My goal is to get one, if not both of them, up and running. And to be honest, the one that would be the easiest to get going would be the Evil Lives Here because I don't have to do a lot of research. I did do research afterwards to see where certain people were at that point because, you know, when I started from the very first episode, which was many years ago. But still, that kind of research is nothing compared to the research that I was doing for the cult series. So, yeah. I absolutely love this contour so much that a lot of times I don't even use a bronzer. I have a bronzer. I don't know if I want to use it or not. Anyways, so it started affecting literally everything in my life. So I left YouTube for a little bit until I realized that sitting here doing my makeup, talking to myself, to you, actually helped. It helped my mind. It helped keep me busy. It just helped. Okay, so I finally get into the doctor. I kind of skipped forward a little bit there, so let's just backtrack a bit. I finally got into my doctor, knowing that she was going to have to send me somewhere else, which is probably why it bothered me so much. I had to wait to know that she wasn't going to be able to help me. I was going to have to go to a specialist, whatever. So she does. She sends me off to a gastroenterologist. And he gets me in pretty quickly, which is very shocking, and we'll discuss why that is so shocking here in a little bit. But, yeah, he gets me in very, very quickly. And, God, this is awful. I don't even know how to fix that. I don't know. Can you see it? It didn't peel up as much as I thought it would when I put the contour on. But, I mean, it wants to. I mean, it's very... I don't know. I just don't know. I think the next time I try this foundation, I'm going to use a gripping primer to see if that actually does help. Because I do think it's the foundation. I don't think it's the primer. But, I mean, it's not looking the best, and I'm not happy it's not looking the best. Okay. So I go into my gastroenterologist, or my new guy, and actually I don't. He automatically schedules me for an EGD. I don't have a problem with that. Let's get started, right? I've been waiting. Let's go on. Let's get these tests going, because I know it's not going to be one of those things that they're going to have an answer for. I already know this is going to be difficult just from talking to my niece and my sister-in-law about what they were going through and how the testing went and the doctors and blah, blah, blah. I knew this was going to be a process. It was. Glad I didn't get disappointed in that. So, actually, you know, for once, not in my life, but for once, I would really love not to have challenges when I'm got issues going on. But anyways, so we get the EGD done. First time I met the doctor was when I was getting the EGD done. And it was so cute because my future daughter-in-law, which I call her my daughter-in-law, but they're not quite married yet, who is in school, in college, and works part-time at the hospital I went to, and she's either a pre-admit or an outpatient or post whatever surgical, you know, person. I don't know what her title is, but she's either the one that helps get you admitted in for surgery or the one that helps you get out and rows you out. And she was the one that helped me out. So it was nice. I got to see her. Anyways. I'm sorry, I'm kind of all over the place, aren't I? It's been a lot. It's been a lot. So anyways, surgery. Or not surgery really per se, as much as EGD. Comes back normal. Pretty much normal, I should say. I have a history of gastroesophageal reflux disease, or better known as GERD. And, of course, that was confirmed. Knew it would be. I'd had it 10 plus years. And they found a sliding hiatal hernia. No big deal. I've had those. They get, surgery takes care of those. But they found nothing new. They found nothing. They dilated my pylorus and my esophagus, and hoping that would help. Nothing helped. So I'm back at my doctor for follow-up. Took about a month to get me in. And I'm just going to say I find out, which I was upset at the time that it took a month. Hell, that was good. We'll get there. So, at that point, when that's good, he decides he wants to do a empty test and a GI test. So, okay. I'm still 100% on board with this because we're moving forward. We're trying to find out what it is. So they schedule me in, and unfortunately, it's the new year when they can get me in for these. One's in like January, and then the other one's in like February. Now take that back. One's like December, and one's in February, or January. So, okay. Sucks, but it is what it is. So, I go get these done. Okay? They both come back normal. Of course they do. Why wouldn't they come back normal, right? So I call the doctor, try to get in. This is January. He can't see me till May. At this point in life, 90% of everything that touches my mouth is coming back out. 90%. And he wants me to wait till May. Needless to say, that did not go over well, because if I had been a new patient, I get it. I wasn't. I had been there. He had done these procedures. I had seen him a couple times at that point. I was livid. I go on and schedule But then I start talking to my tribe, and we agree that it might be good to see if I can get a second opinion. I mean, I can still keep my opinion, or my doctor that I had, just in case. But let's see about a second opinion. So I ask my friends on Facebook, does anybody have a gastroenterologist that they recommend? I didn't specify too much. I wasn't there to disparage this guy. I wasn't there to any of that. I wasn't. But I needed somebody that could see me. And and I had called other places. And because I called about everybody that was recommended to me, and every one of them were like, well, it's a month out before, or not a month. It'll be probably May or June at that point too. And I'm like, well, I'm a new patient. I get that. Okay? I can't wait that long. So I have a friend that come on. She's like, look, I work at a place. I can get you in the beginning of February. Fine. Mark me down. What do you need from me? Let's do this. So I go in and I see this doctor. And I'm talking to my friend, and she tells me, says, your case is very complicated. And I don't know if he's going to be able to actually help you. But if not, he can send you somewhere that can get you in. And I'm like, that'd be great. Because if he does, then it's a referral, and I'm not cold calling, and I probably won't have to wait 6 months, right? Again, I was fine. Sign me up. I want to do this. I get there. Nice doctor. I knew the facility. I see my pulmonary doctor in that area. And he comes in. And we're talking, and he's filling in, and I had taken my medical records, and he's, he starts and he's like, yes, this is a very difficult case. I don't know if I can help you. I'm like, okay, this is where we're at, and this is what my friend said, so great. Refer me on. Wherever you want to send me, I'll go. However, sorry, he proceeds to pull out his phone and get on Google. I wish I was lying. And proceeds to try to diagnose me through Google. Which I'm not going to lie, I had done the same. I had tried to diagnose myself through Google. I was very disappointed. Very, very disappointed. And I didn't go back because he wanted to run a test that I had already had ran. Sorry about that. So, yeah, he wanted to do this test I'd already had ran. I kept it scheduled because it was a little bit different, but not enough that I was like, why am I paying to have the same test done, However, I was very disappointed. And I was at my office one day, which we had a meeting. I was in there, and I normally go in and before I leave and try to talk to my customer service people and see if they need anything from me, see if there's anything I can do, get an update, what's going on. And they start asking me if I had any luck, what the update was, where did I stand. And at that point, I start telling them about Dr. Google. Which they're both, I cannot believe that, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, I know, it was absolutely awful. So, my customer service guy that I hadn't talked to much, like I have two people, and one of them I talked to a lot, and the other one, great guy, but we've never really talked about me being sick. He goes, well, I was talking to my mom, and I'm like, okay, sure. But it turned out his mom worked at a gastroenterologist, a different one. So he said, she told me to tell you to call her. Here's her number, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh my God, yes, thank you. Absolutely, I'll call. I go to my car and call immediately. I remember I had just seen Dr. Google. And everybody has been months and months out. I wasn't expecting to see them so soon. But she proceeds to tell me, she says, I can get you in next Tuesday if you want in. I'm like, yeah, sign me up, put me down, I'm there. So, thankfully, I get in. And I'm there. And he starts talking about how difficult the case was. And I'm like, okay, please don't pull up your phone. Please don't pull out your phone. Well, he does. And I'm like, shit. You know, I'm thinking I'm back to the brass tackets. I'm thinking, okay, I still have this appointment set in May with my doctor. I'll just keep it. But what he does, he pulls out his phone and then proceeds to tell me that there was a doctor interning with him and he would like to know if it'd be okay if he sent him in to talk to me. And then he was going to call another doctor and confirm with him on the phone. And I'm like, holy shit. Yes, that every bit of that is okay with me. Every single bit of all that is okay. So he excuses himself and goes calls this other doctor. This other intern doctor comes in and we're talking and he says something that nobody had said yet, that, hey, we should probably check your esophagus. Let's make sure your esophagus is good. And I'm thinking, oh shit. Okay. Maybe my esophagus is bad. I've had GERD for 10 years. Constant heartburn and whatever. Yeah. Let's do this. So my doctor comes back and he's like, okay, this is what we're going to do. So they're like, we're going to do an EGD. And I'm like, dude, I just had one. But he's like, no. We're going to do one. We're going to put this little pin inside. It's called a Bravo. And it's going to stay in there for 48 hours. You have to wear this little tracking device. And everything you eat and drink, you have to track. And we will be tracking output of acid that comes up. How much is coming up? What's causing problems? Okay. And they're like, and we're going to do another test. We're going to do them all on the same day. He says, this other test is a manometry test. They're going to put a tube up your nose, down your throat, and it's going to swallow. He said, this is actually better than the swallow test that Dr. Google wanted. So I canceled Dr. Google's test because what this doctor was doing was an even better test. So he gets me in within 2 weeks, I think. And that was because it only took that long because he was actually on vacation the week after I was there. So I go in, I have the manometry test done first. Absolutely awful. Like, that was miserable. I'm done with my makeup and we're still talking, so hope you don't mind. So we get that done, then I go get the EGD. I'm going to try to hurry through this. And then they're like, okay, return this machine in, let's say that was like a Monday or Tuesday. Return it like on Thursday so I can get the data. Okay. So I get there and I do it and I call him and he's like, we want you to go see this other doctor that I conferred with. And he was a bariatric doctor. Now, yes, I kind of skimmed over that portion of this because every gastroenterologist I saw, my original doctor, Dr. Google, plus this one, was telling me that if they can't find what's wrong, if the dilating the pylorus in the esophagus doesn't work, and many other things we tried, medicines and so on and so forth, you're going to have to go to a bariatric doctor and they're going to have to do a surgery to bypass your stomach because your stomach is the problem. Basically, my stomach was paralyzed. My pylorus was not opening and closing correctly, so when I ate, the food had nowhere to go but back up. At this point, it's like 99% of everything that's in my mouth is coming out. It's progressively getting worse, and I am progressively, like, December was amazingly awful. I was so weak, malnourished. It was just It was awful. So I'm like, okay. I finally get in to see actually I get in to see the bariatric doctor pretty quickly. And then we're talking and he's telling me that what I have is rare, that he's only seen it like 20 times in his career. And I looked it up and he's been a surgeon for 23 years. So not even one a year he sees this. And he's like, I can tell you that this will work. He said, getting rid of your stomach is going to work. And he's like, I can fix you. I lost it. In 9 months at that point, nobody had ever said, I can fix you. So that started the long process of getting this surgery that I just had done. And they did bypass my stomach. And so it's basically a weight loss surgery. Bypass the stomach. If there's no stomach, there's no problem. I had to see multiple doctors, dietitians. I mean, there's a lot to it. I didn't realize bariatric surgery was quite that extensive. But, yeah. And then my insurance. I have 2 insurance. Both of them canceled. Or denied the claim. And it was a complete disaster for a while. I was a complete disaster. And, my nose is itching. I'm sorry. Finally, we got it approved. I appealed. My doctor appealed. My doctor wrote a letter that these people would have had to been completely soulless to deny. They didn't. And I had the surgery 2 weeks ago. So, you know, they tell me, they said, you might lose weight, or you're going to lose weight. That's what they said. Said it's a bariatric surgery. You're going to have to really work hard not to lose weight. So I am having trouble doing that because, you know, hey, I can't eat anything yet. I was on a liquid diet for 2 weeks. For a week. And now I'm on a liquid soft diet. And then this Friday I can start actual food. So thankfully I've only lost about 10 pounds. I don't really have a lot I can always lose weight, but I don't have a lot of extra to give without becoming sick again. So I'm trying not to lose weight. But here I am. I feel good. Other than extreme exhaustion and soreness from the surgery, even 2 weeks later. I mean, heck, I still got, where's that? I don't even know. Can you see it? No. There's a bruise. Oh, there it is. This bruise is literally over 2 weeks old, and it's just sticking around. So, I mean, my body's not healing as fast as I'd like it to. But like I said, I was malnourished. I was sick. I was having all these issues before. So, it's just part of it. Thankfully, I've been able, the first week I didn't work at all. This week I've been working part-time. Next week I'm going to try to work from home until I get back on my feet and get out driving. I've only tried to drive once. I'm not on pain pills. Thankfully, the pain itself has not been awful, other than sleeping. Sleeping was a problem, and I was taking the pain medicines to help me sleep. It is what it is. But overall, I feel really good. Everything I've put in my mouth, I've kept down. All kinds of wood. Even though it's soft, but like I ate macaroni the first day and I kept it down, and it was the first time I kept anything like that down. It was amazing. So I'm really hopeful. I really think that this is going to work. So there's an update. I am actually trying to get back on my feet, get going where I'm at, get back to 100%. And I have Jamaica in a couple weeks, and I'm really worried how that's going to go, but I don't care. I'm not going to Jamaica to eat, and I think I'll be fine. So, thank you guys. I'm sorry this is so long. I've been done with my makeup, and here I am still rambling. So let's talk makeup. Okay. I didn't like the foundation. And I think I don't know. I don't know if it could have been the serums under it. It could have been the primer. It could have been about anything. So I'm going to try it again with different primers and see if it's something I can find to like, because it peeled and it just, yeah. But the makeup on top of it looks really good. Like everything I put on it looks really good. So that's kind of weird. The eyes, like I said, I do like, pardon me. I did like the glitter. It's not something I would use. But otherwise, everything else looked good. It's just... So overall, for my first video back after surgery, doing makeup, and I'm going to tell you, because before I had done, I kind of went into a nesting phase, knowing I was going to have the surgery and be out. I had everything cleaned, literally the only dirty brushes I've had, because I had everything cleaned and ready to go. So it's been a minute since I've done any makeup. However, thank you guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for always supporting me and staying with me and cheering me on when I needed it and supporting me when I needed it. So guys, you don't understand how much I appreciate that. Thank you again. Have a great day. And until next time, goodbye.